One thing that I hear from many parents is that they don't actually know how to hold a newborn. And you know what? They're not alone. In our community these days, we aren't necessarily around babies when we're growing up or as adults. So when you hold your own baby is often the first time for many parents that they have experience with holding a newborn. So today, I'm going to show you many different ways that you can hold your baby so that when your baby arrives, you will feel confident in holding that little one in your arms. How should you support your baby? Keep in mind that babies, until about 3 months of age, are not able to independently support their heads. So in all the various different positions I'll be showing you today, the number one thing will be making sure that in some way or another, we are supporting baby's head. This is the most important piece. The other thing to keep in mind is that babies generally do best on a slight incline. As they're growing and developing, they actually have an immature sphincter at the top of their stomach, which makes them more prone to reflux. So I encourage parents in the first month to 2 months of life to use positions that promote at least a slight incline while they're holding their babies for their baby's comfort. If you're finding this video helpful, I encourage you to hit that subscribe button. My goal is to reach as many new parents as possible to be provided with the highest evidence-based care information in a fun and lighthearted way. Let's start with the most common one that parents often use. And it's often the one that I see a brand new dad sitting in the chair having their first snuggle with their baby. Baby may or may not be swaddled. For today, I'm going to show you a baby with nothing on. That way you can see kind of how their limbs move independently, and if they weren't swaddled, how you would hold them. So, holding baby in a cradle. You would start often by being handed a baby just like this. Unless someone's put them right in your arms, often you've picked them up and you're holding them like this. How do you get them into that kind of cradled in your arm position? The first thing you're going to do is make sure that there's no zippers or buttons or things that could irritate baby when they're against you. Now, what you're going to do is you're going to take your hand that's toward the bum, bring baby close into your body, and slide that hand up and underneath to now stabilize baby's head and shoulders. Baby's weight is now resting on my wrist. Of course, this baby is very little. This is more the size of a premature baby, but you can imagine the positioning would be similarly. Now I'm going to pull baby away from my body here for a second so you can see something. See how my finger and my thumb are. Generally, most of these positions will use a technique where the pointer finger is on one ear and the thumb is on the other, and my fingers or the palm of my hand are on the shoulder blades. This creates a nice little stable position so that you can comfortably maneuver your baby with confidence. Let's go back to where we were. We have baby snug in against us. I have gentle but firm pressure against my body. This allows me to feel like baby's not going to slide out, or if they were to wiggle, that I have them stably. Most of the pressure that I'm applying is in the heel of my hand. It's not with my fingers and it's not with my arm or my wrist. Now that I have baby snug here, I can take my free arm and wrap it around baby. Now I can sneak my other hand out and let baby's head be in the nook of my arm and let the rest of their body drape on my forearm. What this does is it allows me a free arm, but it also allows me to interact with baby. I can play with their hand or maybe kiss their fingers. Remember, we never want to kiss your baby's face in the first few months of life. What this allows me to do is sit comfortably, relaxed, and also have a free hand to get ready for whatever comes next. The next one that people will often use is that skin to skin position, or often called tummy to tummy time. What we want to do to get out of this position is to essentially reverse the steps that we did before. My free hand is coming underneath. I'm maintaining that gentle but firm pressure against my body. I'm sliding that hand up to go to our thumb and pointer finger technique. And here is my bonus tip. And trust me, I correct this on parents all the time who feel like they don't have their baby secure. It is the pinky finger. What the pinky finger should do in most of these positions to grant stability is hook it under the armpit. Think about your baby being like a little fishy and you have your finger hooked in. What that allows you to do is to create stability so the baby can't fall forward in any of these positions. Because you can imagine here, you feel like you don't have the ability to stop baby from bobbing forward. Like we said before, babies don't have head control until about 3 months. So the hook under the armpit is a great tip to provide some extra security. So we're coming out of this position, we bring baby here, and we want to get baby onto our chest. What a lot of parents will try to do is actually at first just flop baby onto them. And that usually results in a good head bonk for baby, and in fact can actually hurt the collarbone. So what we want to do is we actually want to start by, again, making sure we have no zippers, no buttons, leaning forward into our baby, and then lean back. And now in this position, often babies appreciate a little bit of that bum support, especially if they're upright. And again, that ear to ear technique or just gentle pressure behind the shoulder blades. And now baby's nice and secure. Depending on how reclined you are, you probably can remove that bottom hand or the top hand, but that does require you to make sure that you are leaning back enough that if baby goes to lift their head, which you'll be surprised at how early they start to do that, the baby doesn't kind of tip away from your body. We've covered cradle in the arms, we've covered skin to skin. This next one is my favorite for moving baby from place to place or from person to person. I'm going to show you what it would look like to pick baby up from a given surface. So this could be from their bassinet or the changing pad or even the floor if you're having some floor play time. So we're going to pretend here that the bed is our surface. Obviously, in real life, I would not put a baby this close to the edge of the bed, but I'm going to show you my favorite technique for picking up a baby. What you want to do is use the pads of your fingers to come underneath baby, and you're going to essentially hold under the armpits like this. So we're going to bring our hands under, and I'm going to support here, and I'm actually putting 4 of my fingers on the back of baby's head. Now I can scoop baby. Have a look at how my fingers are placed here. So again, similar to the thumb and pointer finger technique, but this time I have 2 fingers behind baby's head on each hand. And if you look in the front, I have thumbs underneath the armpits. What this allows me to do is get baby up, and now I can transition to any position. People will say, what about baby's legs? Honestly, babies don't mind this. If you remember the newborn scrunch trend, this is how you can get them to demonstrate that scrunch. So in this position, babies really like it. They get to kind of shake out a little bit, but it also allows you to transition baby to anywhere. Why I like it better than a lot of these kind of awkward scoop under positions is that you get the head really stable. So you can scoop, and let's say I was moving to a new outfit, plop, done. And you come back and you scoop back again. So similar to that, the one that I was just talking about that I prefer less is the side to side scoop. And I'll show you that one a little more slowly, but I encourage you, try the scoop under technique because it really is easy and it's super cute. Side to side technique. You're going to take one hand and it's going to go under baby's head to go into our thumb and pointer finger technique, and the other hand is going to be our bum support. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our first hand and put it under baby's shoulder blades, thumb and pointer finger technique, and under the bum, and we scoop baby up. So in this position, it's great, but it lacks the ability to be in the armpits. So often it feels like baby's not very secure. We can improve it by using our pinky and doing that hook. So we scoop baby up and we got it in this like little secure position. This is also a technique that you can use to kind of wiggle out some of those farts, because you can do these gentle circular motion with the hips that helps to pass gas. Now, the last position I want to cover with you is called football. And it's a common technique used for breastfeeding, but it also can be used to one-hand your baby when you're doing things around the house or you're getting something ready for baby. And the way you start is actually in this position that we just finished in. So with the hand under the shoulder blades and the one hand on the bum. And what you want to do is, usually I recommend using your dominant hand or your dominant side to support baby. And what you do is you take baby from here. You gotta make sure you swing the feet past you. Tall babies will try and kick you here. And you bring out a little chicken wing. Now we're trying to keep baby on that slight incline, like I mentioned. We don't want to be tipping baby head first or they'll be losing their feed. But what we want to do is bring baby so that their bum is in line with our ribs. So if you're a female, that's just below the breast. And if you're a man, it's right where the ribs start to indent a bit in your rib cage. It should feel like you're able to relax your shoulder down. If you feel like you can't relax your shoulder down, bring baby a little bit lower. So now I've relaxed my chicken wing, I've relaxed my shoulder. Hand would be the thumb and pointer finger technique, and for bonus points, use the finger tuck. Now I feel like I'm able to use my forearm, or depending on the size of your baby, your upper arm, to provide gentle pressure. Baby's weight is primarily resting in the palm of my hand. And guess what? I have a free hand and an open side of my body. This is a wonderful technique to walk around the house with, to maybe be picking up pieces of laundry, or to be prepping a sandwich one-handed. Whatever it can be, you can probably tackle it in this position. So you've learned lots today about how to hold your baby. Drop me in the comments which one is your go-to position for handling your newborn, and I'll see you in the next one.